today some beautiful and really easy teriyaki salmon and noodles. Let's do it. So the first step with this recipe, we're going to want to make a teriyaki marinade. And the first ingredient we're going to want is some garlic. Take about 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, smash them with a knife, remove the skins, and chop up your garlic fairly coarsely. And the next ingredient for the marinade is some lovely ginger. Take a few nice slices of your ginger and then chuck those into the bowl along with your garlic. And then we're going to want some fiery chilies. Take 1 or 2 chilies, and for this one I'm going to remove the seeds. So tap out those seeds and then slice up your chili and pop those into the bowl with the garlic and ginger. Next we're going to want some dark soy sauce, and you want 3 tablespoons of your soy sauce, and then some rice wine vinegar. Chuck in a tablespoon of your rice wine vinegar, and lastly we want some teriyaki sauce. Go in with 3 tablespoons of your teriyaki, and the last ingredient we want some honey. Chuck in 1 heaped tablespoon of your honey and then give the marinade a good stir, mixing up the honey with the beautiful soy and teriyaki. Next you're going to want a couple of salmon fillets, and you want to start by seasoning the salmon with some sea salt and some freshly ground black pepper. Roll the salmon around in the seasoning, and then you want to lay those into the bowl with your teriyaki marinade. Give everything a good mix around and then just stick a lid on the bowl, and the best thing to do in my opinion is leave this for 24 hours or overnight in a fridge. Next we're going to want to prep some vegetables, and first we're going to use some lovely baby corn. So chop your way through the corn and then just stick that into a bowl and pop it to one side while we prepare some carrot. And the way I like to prepare the carrot for this dish is just simply chopping it in half and then using a peeler or a grater slice down the carrot to get some lovely thin ribbons. And the last vegetable we're going to use is some pak choy. Chop off the end of your pak choy and separate out all of the leaves, and then I like to just dice up the end bits into small cubes and then leave the leaves whole. And now with the prep done, we're ready to start cooking. So you want to take a nice large saucepan, and a little trick here is to use some stock. So pour your vegetable or chicken stock into the pan. Once your stock is boiling, leave that on the heat, and you want to take a frying pan, and for this recipe I'm going to use sesame oil. Pour a nice splash of your sesame oil into the frying pan. You want the pan fairly hot, and then lay in your salmon skin side down. Give the salmon about 1 to 2 minutes on the skin, and then turn the salmon over, and as you can see there, you've got a beautiful dark caramelization on the skin. So very quickly just take a moment to hit that subscribe button below. At this point just pour in your teriyaki sauce and give the salmon 1 last minute in the teriyaki. Remove the salmon from the pan, and then you want to chuck your baby corn into the saucepan with the stock. And then we're going to want some bean sprouts. Chuck a nice handful of the bean sprouts into the frying pan, and after 1 minute you want to chuck the noodles into the stock, and also throw your vegetables into the saucepan. You want to fry off your bean sprouts and boil your vegetables and noodles for 3 minutes. So very quickly give the video a thumbs up by hitting the like button below. After 3 minutes, chuck your noodles and your vegetables into the same pan as your bean sprouts and your teriyaki glaze. Give this a really good stir through, and just turn off the heat and let it sit there for about 1 minute or so while we prepare some spring onions. Take your spring onions, chop off the ends, and you want to dice those up nice and fine. And then you want to take a small bowl of peanuts, chuck your peanuts into a pestle and mortar, and then crush those up so you've got a nice coarse peanutty topping to add some crunch to the dish. And then you want to pile your noodles high on the plate, chuck on your perfectly cooked glazed salmon, and then finish with a nice sprinkle of your spring onions and a nice sprinkle of your crunchy crushed peanuts. And there we have a beautiful glazed teriyaki salmon with some gorgeous noodles. See you next time.